All right, it's Bob Ross, the Thunder Down Under. Now, it's Christopher Isherwood, but I'm wearing Bob Ross's hat. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about what we call the Six. Rumpelstiltskin came a long time ago and told us about the Six. Big warning about the Six. The Six is the evil emperor from Star Wars. It's one who wields the force of the Force from Star Wars, wields it in a highly negative way. Basically, the evil emperor wants to be God over everyone else, and he is, because he has the power. In our world, the Six is known as city fields, Siddhi, city fields, and people who use the cities are tempted to use it for dark, nefarious purposes. What can you use cities for? Basically anything. Any desire you have in a city field, the desire will materialize for you. If you want a $100 bill to appear, bang, just like magic. In fact, it is magic. $100 bills will appear for you. If you want to get in bed with someone that you see across the room in a city field, it'll happen for you. If you want to become the President of the United States in a city field, you will become the President of the United States. What other desires do you have? Are you King Midas and you want gold? Everything you touch will turn to gold in a city field. All right, this is Christopher, and I'm in my normal hat. What else do you want to know? How many people can wield the field, the city field, at a time? As many people as there are in the field. Can you wield the field if you're not in the field? No. Can you afflict others who are not in the field with your city field? Cannot say. But if there is someone in the city field with you, what if you both wield the field? Have you seen these superpower movies where you have one superpowered person versus another and they have an enormous fight and they fight and get up and fight some more and fight some more? They throw each other across the room by telekinesis. That is a city field fight. Is there some people who have more power in the city field than others? In the movies it seems to be, but in reality, is it true? There's lots of stories about people having more ability to wield the field, the city field. Highlander movie. A bunch of people in a city field having a face-off after face-off after face-off. Killing the opponent until there's only one Highlander left in the city field. This hat we call the Rumpelstiltskin hat. And what else do we want to tell you? Dr. David R. Hawkins of Consciousness Research said, cities are a trap. People that get the city field don't really know it's a city field. It's just one day you're in a city field and you have a desire. Maybe it's, I think for a lot of people, it's, you have a desire to have a sexual relation with someone. And lo and behold, it happens. And then the next day, same thing, you want a sexual relationship with someone. Maybe not the same person, maybe somebody else. Maybe it's a bar that you like to haunt. And you just keep going there. It's a pickup bar, and you keep on picking up hot people. It's a city field because you feel like I can't fail. I just keep going. I've got my mojo going and I keep getting what I want. It's not that. It's a city field. And Dr. Hawkins says, you don't realize it's a field. It just seems like you've got the power. And he says this is because the human mind doesn't know anything. It's incredibly stupid until it's been educated. So most people, when they're in this field getting what they want, keep wanting more and more and more and more, and keep getting more and more. It keeps coming. And they think they are doing it. I have the superpower. They don't realize that it's not you. It is a field that you are in that responds to your desires. You're not special, but people think they're special because people have egos. And it's all about their experience, their personal experience. And people don't read, stories about the cities and the spiritual powers. The Yogic Sutras of Patanjali is where it's recorded. It's an ancient text that's been passed down through the years. But no one's heard of it, unless you're a serious spiritual student. And even then, you think a lot of people here, Earth Ascension, we're all going to get the ability to teleport and use telekinesis and telepathy. And they expect it. People keep saying these are the gifts you're going to get. But if you listen to Dr. Hawkins, he'll say, this is a city field. And Dr. Hawkins says, refuse the cities because they are a spiritual trap. He doesn't really go in too much detail about why it is a spiritual trap, but it seems to me the reason it's a spiritual trap is that it reinforces your ego, your sense of being separate from others and having power over others and over things like money. So the whole point of raising your vibration and consciousness is to unify with others and the other things, to become oneness. In essence, when you take the city powers, you become separate and even more separate from the others because you are the puppet master using others as your puppets. The theory is that everything is a oneness, but we are in some weird kind of they call it a dimension, I suppose, or density. Some people are calling it a density, third density, where the illusion of all of us being separate is incredibly strong. So strong that when someone says we're all one thing, we laugh and say, you're an idiot. Are you okay? But that's how strong it is, this illusion. It's known as Maya, M-A-Y-A, in ancient Sanskrit, which is an old language from India, where the Yogic Sutras from Patanjali come from. So what are you going to do now that you've heard about city powers? Are you going to refuse them? Well, the problem is Dr. Hawkins doesn't explain how to refuse the cities. He says, just refuse them. They're a trap. But if you have an ego, you won't be able to refuse them because the ego is the source of the desires. Buddhists know this because Buddha talks about you got to extinguish your desires. You have to silence your mind. And mostly what happens is that Through meditation, you learn that a lot of things that you considered to be yours, like your mind, aren't yours at all. In essence, the mind is like a city field, the mind field. And most of us think that our minds are our own. They're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. Some people say, we're creator God. Some people say you're co-creating, but you're participating in it. If you have an ego, it sure appears like you're participating in it. You're picking and choosing what you want. But if you want enlightenment and higher vibration, and you want to be not trapped forever as being an ego, you will have to learn that you are not the mind, and you are not the city fields. You are not the physical body. What are you? You are awareness. And the voice that comes to you right now, you are aware of it. When you speak, are you the voice that comes out of your mouth? Most people say, of course, because most people take ownership of anything to do with the experience of them and their body. That is the height of ego. So what are you to do? Meditate, meditate, meditate. And when you're meditating, in other words, just sit quietly and watch the physical body go around doing what it does on its own. Watch the thoughts come and go. Watch the desires that you used to think were your desires. Sometimes I watch the body, and sometimes the body will go for chocolate bars. And is there a desire? Yes, there's a desire in the mind field for chocolate. And then the body goes for the chocolate. And then I hear some of my spirits say, there you go, after the chocolate, fat boy. There is a desire for chocolate, and the body is going for chocolate. The awareness is aware of all this, but the ego says, I am the body eating the chocolate. An egoless person simply watches the body either go for the chocolate or not. An egoless person feels the desire that comes for the chocolate. But the egoless person does not use personal intent or personal will. In other words, you have to let go of thinking that you are the body. Because if the body goes for the chocolate, in the past you would have said, well, I went for the chocolate because I'm the body. But when you meditate and you see that you are aware of all these things happening around you in your field of awareness, but you're not it. Because if you sit still and you just be the awareness and you don't act on the desires that come and go to your awareness, you will break the spell that you are the body, that you are the mind, and that you are wielding city power. Why would you want to do this? Because Dr. Hawkins says it's a spiritual trap. In other words, you're going to be stuck thinking you're the body, the mind, and you're wielding city powers forever. And you'll never get to experience anything else. So, the spiritual teacher Osho had an ashram in Oregon, United States. An ashram is a place where seekers can come to hang out with Osho. And in this place, the biggest thing that people had on their minds was having sex. They wanted to have sex more than anything else. So Osho told them, here you all are at the ashram. Go have sex. Go have sex. Go have sex. Osho didn't participate in the sex. But he said, in essence, what you people are going to do is have so much sex, you're going to get sick of sex eventually. And you're never going to want to have it again. So go and do it. And go and do it and burn out that desire to have sex. And that's what they did. Do you ever burn out your desire for sex? I think so. Will the desire for sex come back? I think so. So what you have to do is be smart and listen to what I'm saying and, let go of the idea that you're the body having sex. And later on, perhaps your body will have sex and you'll be aware of it, but you're not participating. It's really weird. Or maybe your body will get the message or something and it will stop acting on these desires that you can hear and feel. Or maybe you won't. Dr. Hawkins said at one time he couldn't really figure out how he ever got associated with the body that we all look at and say, that's Dr. Hawkins. He said he couldn't figure it out. It's a mystery. That's your update. I'm Harry Weaver.